What I'm going to do is probably spend the next 15 minutes just going over some of the key technology drivers and requests that we got from our customers around what they wanted to see in our 12th generation of server products. And then to talk through some of the key technologies. Now, I know we've got a lot of senior IT managers and CXOs here, so I'm not going to go into technology in depth, but probably just to give you some snippets to be dangerous, to go back to your teams and ask them, how these types of solutions can help your organisation. And then we're very fortunate to have a very loyal Dell customer here also, who's going to talk us through some of the challenges that they faced and how Dell assisted them in basically redesigning their infrastructure to give them extended life inside their data centre. So I think what's already been mentioned is, close to 2 years ago, we've been working on our 12th generation of server products. We went out to close to 8,000 customers. So we've had about 8,000 different conversations with customers over the last couple of years. Throughout the globe, we've had actually 800 pre-production units sitting out with customers. And some of the technologies and innovations that I'll go through over the next couple of minutes will explain on what the customer wanted to see and how we've integrated that into our solutions. This slide here really talks to the foundation of all the products. So being simple to manage is very, very key for us. And you're going to see that, you have seen that in our server products, and you're going to see us continue to develop that. And you're also seeing it in some of our storage products that we're bringing to market as well. And a key example of that is the acquisition that we made with EqualLogic a couple of years ago. One of the key benefits of the reasons why we bought that organisation is that storage array was one of the easiest arrays to manage in the market. And the third one, which is the underlying mantra that we've got at Dell, is provide solutions and product sets that are open and flexible, that allow customers to scale up and down as they require. So here are a couple of the comments that we got back from different customers across the globe. Obviously, virtualization being a real key one. I honestly believe that virtualization is the cornerstone to helping our customers get to a cloud model, whether that be their own private cloud or public, or a mixture of both with hybrid cloud technology. What you'll see in our 12th generation of servers is a lot of the design and a lot of the feature sets has been designed to help customers rapidly take their virtualization journey to the next level. Also incorporating into the virtualization story for Dell is what was spoken about before is our vStart configurations, which officially launched in India today. So we can now pre-package server, storage, networking, hypervisors, operating systems, pre-package those and deliver them to your door. So that's a great solution to have a look at. One of the other areas was, we've got a lot of customers that run very large HPC/VDI types of deployments. So the need to put graphical processing cards inside of a general purpose server was definitely there as well. And we've managed to achieve that with our 12th generation of servers. Quite a bit has been spoken about the different networking technologies. Obviously, we're now acquired Force 10. One of the innovations that we've done around 12G is enabled our customers to choose the networking components that they want to see inside their particular server. So you're no longer locked into having one network vendor card inside your server. So you've now got a whole suite of different products to actually customize. So again, integrating as much as we can onto the motherboard of the system to allow you to expand with further technologies in the different PCI slots. Management, and you've heard a bit about what's going on in the management front. That's been a big focus for us for a number of years, is around reducing the complexity and just taking out a lot of the mundane day-to-day tasks of managing your server infrastructure. Private cloud, so we talked about vStart. Tune power on demand. So power and cooling, I'm sure you're all very familiar, is a big topic, and we've done a lot of innovation with our 12th generation of servers around how we can help assist customers extend the life of their data centers with some innovative new technology that we're going to announce here in a couple of slides. So the product portfolio, what does it look like? So you see up in red there, Wave 1. So Wave 1 are the products that we're shipping today. So we're not just announcing them, we're actually shipping them and have been shipping them for the last week. We've got a tower product, we've got a blade product, and also some rack products as well. Just so you're aware, anything with a T is a tower, anything with an M is a blade, anything with an R is a rack, anything with a 2 is a 12th generation product. You'll see one new product which we haven't had before in our portfolio, which is called the R710 XD. Again, based on customers' requirements and customers' input, what they wanted from us is a rack mount server that had a lot of internal disk. So with this particular server, we can put up to 26 2.5-inch drives inside of a rack mount server. So again, if you've got remote branch environments that maybe a direct attached storage array or a SAN doesn't work, you've got a solution there. One of the key products that we'll be announcing over the next couple of months is actually not up on the slide, but I'll give you a bit of a preview. We're going to introduce a quarter height blade to the market in the next couple of months. So, we'll be the first vendor in the market that will be able to allow our customers to fit in up to 32 single servers inside of a chassis. So that's going to be very exciting for us, so watch out for that in the next couple of months. We're also going to introduce some storage arrays into our blade portfolio as well. So you're going to see some of that fantastic technology that we've got with Equal Logic today start to come into our blade chassis. So watch out for that over the next couple of months. Just some key stats and key technical sound bites that you can take back to your teams. I mentioned at the start virtualization was a big focus. For many of you, you may be aware that one of the number one criteria for virtualization is how much memory you can have inside your server. So with our 12th generation of products, we can now support up to 768 gig. So that's pretty impressive. So all of the Wave 1 products will be able to support that. So we now support up to 24 DIMMs inside of a single server. So from a virtualization perspective, the amount of scalability that we can now achieve and the amount of VMs that we can now achieve on our 12th generation of servers is close to double what we can do with 11G. Solid state drive, solid state disk technology. So one of the issues that we've had in the past with solid state disk is the costs have been quite high. Over the last couple of years, as adoption for this technology has come about and more customers are actually using it, we're seeing the costs come down. So it's gotten to a point now where it makes sense for us to provide support for solid state disk technology in our general purpose servers. If you have a database environment, a large database environment, you need to look at solid state disk technology. The performance in a SQL, Oracle type of environment is outstanding. There's basically nothing on the market that, from a single server perspective, that can get anywhere near the performance gains that we can get with our 12th generation of servers and also solid state disk technology. Graphical processing units, so I mentioned this, so we now support this in our tower-based products and our rack-based products. We can get the same performance out of one server with 2 GPUs today compared to if you look at probably a top 50 supercomputer from a couple of years ago. So, a cluster of maybe 100 to 200 x86 boxes from a couple of years ago, we can do the same type of performance with one 12G server and 2 of these GPUs. So, as I mentioned at the start, if you're looking at HPC type of environments, or if you're looking at deploying large-scale VDI deployments, definitely have a look at this technology and how it can potentially benefit you. Agent-free monitoring, so we spoke about this in the previous session. So, great that we no longer need to load an agent on our servers. We can now go agent-free. So again, just reducing all that complexity around the day-to-day management of your server infrastructure and allowing your IT staff to get involved in more business-critical projects that may be coming up. We mentioned iDRAC and also the lifecycle controller. Some of the unique things that the team here in India have done as I've developed this product is allow the ability for the server to actually recognise what components have been replaced inside a system. So when the customer, or when you do go and put that failed component back into the server, it will automatically recognise the configuration or update BIOSes if needed as well. So a great way of, as I said before, reducing the complexity around systems management. Power and cooling, as I said at the start, big focus for us. So we've taken a lot of the technologies that we've had with our blade infrastructure over the last couple of years and started to integrate that into our 12th generation of servers. I'm sure in India, like virtually every other country across the APJ market, power is becoming a big issue. Not only because you may not have enough of it, but just because of the cost. We've got customers in ANZ and Japan where the electricity companies won't give them any more power. So they need to come up with different ways of how they're managing their data center on a day-to-day basis. So with our 12th generation of servers, we can now set up power caps. So basically what that means, you can set a threshold on a server on how much power it can actually use. So you can do it by one server or you can do it by a whole rack. So if you've got power issues inside your data center today, you need to have a look at this type of technology. And basically what it's allowing our customers to do is to extend the life cycle of their data centers. In some of the other markets across APJ, we've been dealing with customers that have very old data centers. And when I say old, I mean data centers from 20 years ago, and they're not really designed for the amount of compute power and the amount of heating and cooling that is actually required. So we've worked with a lot of customers and helped them redesign their data center so that it actually didn't have to physically go out and build a new one. And it's technologies like this, along with our services teams and consulting teams, are the key areas where we're helping customers definitely extend the life cycle of their data centers. So I mentioned power. Cooling is another big one as well. So we announced this technology with our 11th generation of servers. And it's a technology that we're calling Fresh Air. Basically what it means is in some of our 11th generation of servers and our new 12th generation of servers, we can now have these servers run at 45 degrees C. There's no other vendor in the market that can actually do this. And what that's going to allow you to do is we can support a data center or a server running at 45 degrees C for a month, 24/7. So if you think how much cooling is actually needed in your data center today to cool your servers, and think about potentially actually turning that off and seeing how much power you would actually save. So, a key technology, we are way ahead of the competition in this area. And it's not a fact of we've just spun up the fans a little bit higher so it will actually cope. We've done a lot of work around the components, the materials that are actually used, as well as the airflow inside the server. So definitely worth having a look at this. Some of the initial savings that we're seeing from just purely a power and cooling perspective, we can show a return on investment on a 12th generation products in about 10 months' time, just on the amount of power that you actually save using some of these new technologies. So rather than me stand up here for the next couple of minutes and talk about what's going on with Dell and some of the new technologies and solutions that we're bringing to market. What I'll do is I'll introduce Ranush up to the stage. So Ranush is from UST Global, a very loyal customer of ours. The quote that you see up on the screen is actually a quote that he gave to the press a couple of weeks ago. So it really shows that the comments and the feedback that you're giving us are actually turning into true products and true solutions that we're bringing to the market. So with that, I'll pass over to Ranush. Thank you.